So it's been a few days since I redid the tabletop for the wife. Painted the legs as shown in the post I just posted. The wood has a sheen to it. I used a paintbrush and not a foam brush because I wanted the streaks to go with a wood grain. I sanded this down with 80 grit sandpaper, done to bare wood. Went over it with 120 grit sandpaper to smooth stuff out. Filled in the little knots that had little gaps in it from before. I should have taken a pick and cleaned this out, but the wax got in there anyway, but she's not complaining, so I'm not gonna change it. The area that had the grease thing was right here. It's really smoothed out. So I sanded this with 80, then with 120. Use some clean terry cloth wet rags and cleaned off all the sawdust. That raised the wood fibers up a bit. Went over that with 320. After it dried, right, with the fibers up, 320, wiped it down again with wet rags to raise whatever fibers were there up again. 320 again, allowed to dry. Painted. Right after this was painted, I sanded with the wood grain 320 by hand, just to knock down the height of the brush stroke from the paint, from the ridges in the paint, make everything somewhat level. Then cleaned off with a tack cloth. Repainted again for the color, so the first coat was more of a sealant coat because that's what we did before when we did one coat on top. And you can see all the knots. This one's still showing, but all the other ones are not showing as much or at all. And then after everything was cured for 24 hours in between coats, I came in with Deco Art creamed wax, and it's soaked in, give it a nice darker gray, right? But the sheen's actually coming from the second coat. The second coat gives it a nice satin sheen to it. And I buffed it. It was a pain in the ass to buff because I wanted to go across the grain, and I kept telling myself to go with the grain because then I won't have any streaks going this way. And then this here is probably from where I had, because I did this in sections with resin painting, and then I dry brushed across the entire board. So this is probably a spot that was a little low in paint. And this is another knot you can see here. But yeah, wife is happy with it. I'm happy with it. That's all that matters. It's not perfect, but it works, especially when we have family over. So now a empty space has something to occupy it.